Hey, thank you for a great question. The phrase familiar spirit comes from the King James Version, where it occurs 7 times as a rendering of the Hebrew word ov, which occurs in a few different constructions. It's probably most famously known from Isaiah 29:4, and there it's just the word ov all by itself. And familiar spirit is a bit of an outdated translation. It's not using the word familiar in the sense of, hey, don't I know you? It's familiar in the sense of familial. It's a reference to an ancestral spirit. So the word ov in Hebrew more or less corresponds to ghost or ancestral spirit. And it occurs in Leviticus 20. It occurs a few times in 1 Samuel 28 with the story of the necromancer of Ein Dor, and it occurs a couple of times in Chronicles. Now in Chronicles it's just the word ov all by itself, but it's not a reference specifically to the spirit, but a reference to necromancers or mediums, people who have access to the spirit. And this is the way it's being used in Leviticus as well. Now in 1 Samuel 28, with the story of the necromancer of Ein Dor, the construction is Baalat Ov, which literally means mistress of ghosts, and not mistress in the sense of Donald Trump and Tim Ballard can't get enough mistresses, but mistress in the sense of the feminine version of master. So this is someone who is a master of ghosts. So a necromancer, someone who has access to ancestral spirits. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about necromancy in ancient Israel, I would highly recommend Carrie Sonia's recent book, Caring for the Dead in Ancient Israel. And then Chris Hayes also has a wonderful book, A Covenant with Death. And the subtitle is Death in the Iron Age 2 and its Rhetorical Uses in Proto-Isaiah.